Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. It's Shelley Bosch from Parent Dashboard, and really excited just to go live here for just a few minutes to remind you about next week's Parent Dashboard Presents event. And we're really excited to have Ann Hughes with us. And it's kind of a heavy topic, but it's a really important one for our community. So if you've been having difficulty, like it's stressful times and it can really crunch on you and magnify issues, particularly in relationships. And if it comes to it, divorce can be a thing that we need to navigate. So managing overwhelm and stress and all of these things when you're dealing with divorce, much less special needs divorce, is something that Marianne's a specialist in. And, we know that our community has a higher than general population divorce rate. And I've heard rates as high as 80, but maybe more realistic around 10. There's been different numbers. Maybe we can get Marianne to help us sort that out. But we all want to protect our kids, as someone who was a kid who went through her divorce, and as someone who's a special needs parent who navigated divorce, setting them up for the future. We know from our own personal experiences from the 70s, and then also, going through divorces ourselves, that, the kids only get one shot at this. And, whether it's working out the difficulties of, like sharing duties or agreeing on therapy or navigating family or community resources, we need to kind of get it right the first time. So we wanted to bring in a specialist to help us figure out how to take care of ourselves, ensure our children's experience doesn't exacerbate their conditions, and really to get a plan together. So super excited that Marianne has agreed to be here with us today. Hi, Marianne.
Kelly, so happy to be here today. Thanks for inviting me.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and Marianne's she's got so many things. We're really lucky to have her. She's a certified divorce specialist and a life coach, and becoming a certified divorce coach. And she runs Special Family Transitions out of Houston, Texas. And she's a member of the National Association of Divorce Professionals. And not only that, she participates in a program called Lone Star Led, which is a program where professionals from different disciplines, doctors, and all sorts of places, go to share experience. And so she shares the special needs lens to all sorts of other different professionals as well. So super excited, and she gets a lot of information back from them and how to navigate things. So we're super excited to have her. And she's a special needs mom herself, mom of 2 on the spectrum. So she's been through all of this herself, and now just is a person who is dedicated to helping families with complex needs navigate their world. So welcome, and thank you for being here. And I was hoping maybe you could tell us what we're going to do this next week on the 26th. We were going to sort of address, some common questions that you've heard. Can you tell us about what you'd like to cover as sort of like an initial idea, and then maybe we can ask people to contribute their questions for you to answer as well?
For sure, yes. So as a special needs mom myself of 2 boys on the autism spectrum, I know when I first got into the divorce process, or it hit me, I was just totally overwhelmed, didn't know what to do. And so part of my mission is to help people who are facing special needs divorce with complex kids in terms of how to get through that overwhelm, how to deal with the complexities that are involved in a special needs divorce, which is hard enough to divorce anyway. But then when you've got kids' needs that you're looking for, emotionally, as well as their long-term needs and support that will need to be in place, that's definitely where I decided I wanted to help people and help them find a path to get to a good result for their family.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, and I know, one of the things is like how to manage yourself and, manage other things. What are this sort of 3 questions that I think we were talking about that you would kind of touch on it first?
Sure. So first is, as a person going through it, how do you deal with your own overwhelm, and how do you take care of yourself, know what to do? And then part of that is knowing who can help you, who to share with, who can be part of your team to get through the process, because you can't do it alone. There's so much involved that it really takes a team effort. And so trying to identify who those people are, bringing them on your team, or at least getting the knowledge that they have to be able to figure out where you need to go and how to get there. And then the third part of that is, like you're saying, how do you help the kids through the process too? It's hard enough as a parent to deal with it, but like you said, the kids themselves are overwhelmed and trying to figure out how to transition, from a different home, different, everything may look different to them, from what they've known growing up until that point. And then, one day things are going to be different than they're used to, especially because of autism. I have a hard time with change, and how do you help them prepare for that change? And that's a lot of what I like to help with as well.
Right. Like, I mean, managing all their sensory stuff and their regular routines and everything, and their therapists and all those other things is one thing, but, navigating that shift where it's also an emotional pressure, and can be illogical or confusing, like the black and white thinking kind of kicks in. So navigating all that. So that's fantastic. We're super excited to have you. I just wanted to make sure that people remembered that it's next week on March 26th, 11 a.m. Pacific. What's that? 12:12 Eastern. And I think that makes, I can't remember what it is in GMT in the UK, but we definitely have watchers there too. So thank you for being here. Oh, and I think that there was an event coming up that you're participating in case people are interested, that just can't wait till next week. What event is that? That's around on the 23rd, you said?
Yeah, so the part of that Lone Star Lend program that you mentioned, our project that we're doing with a team is to help families support their kids when they're going through special needs divorce. And so we've got a series of 3 webinars, and 2 of them have been recorded. So I'll definitely share the links for those, so for everyone to watch those for information with child psychologists. But the third one is going to be a parent panel of parents who have been through the process, and for them sharing their own personal experience, as well as recommendations for what worked for them, what didn't, so people can then go out and hopefully have a better experience in their situation. And that's going to be next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, which will be 5 p.m. your time there on the Pacific Coast. And I'll put a link in the comments as to how to register for that event. We will not be recording it because it is so sensitive, and there'll be a lot of sharing on that. But we love people to sign up and do it real time with us, and kind of ask questions too.
Right. Fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us. We're like, this is just like a super critical part that there aren't necessarily a lot of formal resources for, and, but certainly having someone with training and, who's connected into sort of standard practices and, things like that will be of great benefit to the whole community. So I want to thank you so much. And we're looking forward to seeing you next Saturday. On the 26th at 11 Pacific.
Great. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody.